This is the Jinan. It is a legendary tier Pan-Asian cruiser, and it is available by completing the Jinan Bureau Project. And in order to complete the Bureau Project, you do need the Tier 6, 7, and 8 Tech Tree ships in the Pan-Asian cruiser line, the Shumfan, the Harbin, and the Sejong. And the ship does come with this cool skin. So it has pretty quick reloading guns, massive torpedoes in the water, and with that, let's get into the setup of the ship and the commander, who is Chen Shaokuan. Base trait is guerrilla warfare, which improves the incoming damage from shells, torpedoes, and bombs to your cruiser while inside a smokescreen. So while you're inside a smokescreen, all the damage will be lowered by 11.4%. Inspirations is Norman Scott with directed impact, which improves the cruiser's main battery shell grouping. And then we have Yamato here, which is right through it, improves the cruiser's armor-piercing shell penetration multiplier. Then we have Beyond Range to get the maximum range out of the ship, which, improves that by 10%. Then the Igniter, chances of a cruiser HE shells causing a fire, is improved by 3%, and you do start a lot of fires in the Jinan. Back in stock, we've selected because we want quicker torpedo reload time above all. I didn't go with Sponge or Velocious. I'm going with it back in stock, and then here we pick the unique skill Torpedo Chaos, which improves the torpedo reload booster cooldown time, torpedo damage, and you do get another torpedo reload booster charge, and that does come in handy. And then for the legendary skill, we have Refill Station, which improves the cruiser main battery reload time by another 7%. Special effect improves the cruiser main battery range by 10% when you're within 2.75 kilometers of an allied ship, and that is at legendary rank 3. Going up to legendary rank 4 will max that out to 3.5 kilometers. All right, let's check out the upgrades for the Jinan. First one is Aiming Systems Mod 1 to improve the main battery dispersion and a torpedo launcher traverse speed. Then here we went with Steering Gears Mod 2 to improve the rudder shift time by 20%. And we went with double steering gears here. So Steering Gears Mod 3, rudder shift time is 40%, and steering gear repair time is improved by 80%. And the interesting thing about this is, even though I have steering gears going, if I'm out in the open water, I get blown out and I end up behind the island. I got to take care of that eventually in a match. But so I've got it set up for steering gears here. Gunfire Control System Mod 2 is the fourth upgrade slot and improves main battery dispersion and the range of the main guns. High explosive shells, armor-piercing shells, and deep water torpedoes. So you won't be able to take out any destroyers with these torpedoes, but everything else you'll definitely be able to inflict massive damage and cause floods at a higher percentage than quote-unquote normal torpedoes. Damage control party, duration is 5 seconds, reloads every 57 seconds, and those consumables are unlimited. Smoke generator consumable, duration is 30 seconds. Smoke screen dispersion time is 70 seconds, and it reloads every 2 minutes or so. And you have 3 of those consumables, and this is like a semi-rolling smoke is what I'm trying to say. You can stay at like a quarter speed and pretty much stay covered here with the smoke screen. All the Pan-Asian destroyers and cruisers seem to have a semi-rolling smoke as far as I'm concerned. That's what I'm calling it. Anyway, repair party consumable is next. Partially restores the ship's HP by repairing any light damage at the rate of 199 hit points per second, which runs for 28 seconds, reloads every 76 seconds, and there are 2 of those. 3 torpedo launcher reload boosters, and these are pretty awesome. Reloads the torpedoes in 8 seconds. Duration is 1 second though, and the reload time is 210 50 seconds. So wow, that's a pretty big reload time. And as I said, you have 3 of those, maxing out the boosters, but that could change depending on the match. And the ship does come, this is one of the rare legendary Bureau projects that comes with a cool camo. The 4 elements camo is included in the Bureau project when you complete the Bureau project. Sea detectability, range, and incoming fire dispersion is 4.5% respectively. Specs survivability hit points is 39.9. Armor is 6 to 225 millimeter, and this is why you get taken out in the open water. That fairly thin armor, especially when everyone focuses on you, which tends to happen for me more often than not. No torpedo damage reduction. Artillery, you have 10 guns, reach out to 18 kilometers with this build, really quick reload time and traverse time. HE shells have a maximum of 1800 with a fire setting chance of 12%. And you do start fires more often than that, it seems, but you're firing the shells every 3 seconds, so it does add up within a minute. Our piercing shell damage is 2100, which is not really all that great, even though I have the inspirations set for accuracy and armor piercing shell damage. I have that set up for other cruisers, Pan-Asian cruisers. I don't want to go setting up my commander specifically for certain ships. So that's the way I had the cruiser commander set up for previous Pan-Asian cruisers, and I'm not going to change him just because of this Bureau project, so I'm just going to have to make do. In case anyone's wondering why I would go with a armor-piercing inspiration in my commander when the armor is so weak, and you'd probably want to go with fire. Anyway, enough of the soapbox. So torpedoes are pretty massive. You can get 20 torpedoes in the water, 10 on each side. So with the quick rudder shift time, and this is basically why I selected the rudder shift time. So on both inspirations for upgrade slots 2 and 3. So you can fire your torpedoes on one side, quickly move over to the other side and fire the other torpedoes. So even though I'm not really out in open water, quote unquote, battling my enemies, my opponents with the guns, I'm using the rudder shift to be able to get both sides, the left and right side of my torpedo racks in the water as quick as possible. So torpedo damage is almost 20,000 hit points, which is awesome. Range is 13.5 kilometers, which is awesome. And mediocre torpedo speed is 69 knots. AA defenses, you probably will clear the sky with a Jinan, but I have not really been in many carrier matches, being a legendary tier. I haven't been in many carrier matches to really make an effective evaluation of this. Maneuverability, maximum speed is pretty good at 36 knots. Turning circle radius is really tight at 670 meters, 3.7 rudder shift time, and that is awesome. Concealment, detectability range by sea is 11.4 kilometers, range by air is 7.6, and if you're firing in the smoke, it's 6.2. Here you go. I've played 5 matches, and I've gotten 4 victories so far with the ship. So armor. All right, here's the armor, and right around the Citadel, you do have the thicker, what is this? This is 29 to 33 millimeter armor, and then you have the thicker armor right on the side right there, so that is pretty well armored, but yeah, the front of the ship has 15 to 16 millimeter, and then 6 to 14 millimeter is the superstructure, so you really, I'm telling you, you go out in the open water with the ship and you will get taken out pretty quickly, it seems like, especially when the whole team is focusing on you, and that is a lot of Citadel above the water right there. So my experience in the ship has not been so great when venturing out in the open water. Let me just say that. Then the overview, the ship does have a torpedo launcher reload booster, and that really does get maximum amount of torpedoes in the water at any one time. That is awesome to see the carpet of torpedoes floating in a certain direction. And in the replay video, you will see some battleships get taken out and get a couple hits going with that blanket of torpedoes in the water, even though we are hiding behind an island while it happens. Deep water torpedoes are hard to spot, but cannot hit destroyers and modest guns. The ship is armed with low caliber main battery guns, and yeah, it's probably why the armor piercing may not be the way to go here unless you're going against a lightly armored cruiser. So then the Jinan is a variant of the light cruiser developed in the United States at the end of World War II, CL-154, with reinforced torpedo armament. And that is certainly what the armor had showed there. And the year of design was 1944, kind of light on the description there. But we have, and there were no ships in the series, and we have the Jinan in the game. So let's go out in a standard match and check it out and see what it's all about, see what I can do with it.
All right, so here we go. We are in shards. There's a couple destroyers per side, a couple of cruisers per side, and the rest are battleships. And we do have a divisioned game, a couple divisions on the other team, so they, in theory, have better communication than we have. And with all those battleships, I am not really going to be looking to get out in the open water, but in this map in shards, I do like to go over by the island where you see A and post up behind the island. And there's my buddy Jankonomics, fellow community contributor. I am saying hello to him, and he exchanges the greeting in a few minutes here. But yeah, this was with Jankonomics, and all of a sudden it's the situation. There you go. Situation is kind of tightening up because A, I don't really want to embarrass myself in front of a fellow community contributor, and I want to have a pretty good game. So this is probably the 4th or 5th match that I had in the Jinan, and had a great win rate, as you saw in the early part of the video, but never really finish at the very top of the leaderboard. So we do win the games. It is kind of fun because what I found here is I'm posting up here behind this island. I'm taking shots at the enemy team there. You see there's a spotted indicator, but in general, a lot of times you can make do because the arcing of the shells are so steeply angled that you could really make do and stay hidden here. And here come some shells from someone that I didn't even see, but he had me spotted from his other teammates spotting me here. So here is a Colombo. You can see it. This is kind of an extreme. I'm really surprised at this. This is an extreme angle, I think. And I'm able to get shots on the Colombo. So I just basically stay here for quite a bit of time and just try to take shot after shot after shot at anybody that I could get at without exposing myself in the open water. I really don't want to do that. I really would not last very long, I think, if I went out in the open water. Here I am in the smoke screen, but I do want to take care that I don't have any torpedoes coming in on me. So here the Colombo looks like he's in a good spot for me anyway. And we do start a fire. And he disappears, but we are keeping our aim at the same spot. And you can see that we are basically still continuing to get hits, which are creating some damage. The fire is still going, so here I'm checking out the spread of the torpedoes. I'm thinking about going around the other side of the island and letting loose a barrage of torpedoes. And you can see there that that was a pretty extreme angle that the shells are able to target these other ships, and I don't have a problem with an island blocking my shot. So that is the thing that I really enjoy about the ship, is the steep angles that you can shoot the other ships with, is what I'm trying to say. So here looks like he's backing up, so we are compensating here, and as long as we are behind this island here, the smoke screen is not going. We got 25 seconds before we reload. You don't see any smoke screen indicator right here, so we are just continuing to be hidden behind this island. And with, like I said, with the extreme arcing angles that really gets it done. So here I'm just maintaining my aim. I'm not moving my aim at all, and now I'm moving because I'm expecting that he's backing up a little bit. So we'll just see how that goes. So here I'm backing up a little bit. Now my next target is the Yamato and the Grosser First right there. So yeah, this is amazing because a lot of times the islands definitely spoil your aim. And so we are just going to sit here as long as we have this opportunity and just try to farm damage and get some more fires. The ship is able to start fires pretty darn quickly at the very quick firing rate of right around 3 seconds or so. You can see right here that those reloads are really racking up, and there the island indicator went away as the Grosser First is turning toward us. And when you look at the wide view and see where the island is, it's really unbelievable that the island is not blocking a lot of these shots. So within 5 minutes, we've got 30,000 damage pretty much. So here I'm going to come forward and see if I can get a shot on the Grosser First and the other battleship right there. I think that was Colombo. So here I'm coming around here to try to get an angle from this point, and I'm going to flood this gap right here that you see right in the front of the ship right there. I'm going to flood that gap with 2 shots of torpedoes, and it's basically going to be a carpet of torpedoes, and we are going to try to take care of business here. Here's another Grosser First. I don't think that was the same Grosser First that we were targeting, but now I'm like really in the middle of it, and I'm wide open to all these guys just basically having their way. And yeah, they are doing the same trick I was doing, where they are able to hit my ship even though I'm not being spotted. So here, that is 20 torpedoes in the water, and that is an awesome view of a carpet of torpedoes going. And we are not going to hit the Khabarovsk, but we are going to hit the Grosser First. And yeah, this is just awesome. This is like the highlight of the match in some ways, just to have the blanket of torpedoes out there. And since the Grosser First is not moving very well, Grosser First doesn't have that great acceleration anyway, and he's going to get nailed with a couple torpedoes for another 40,000 worth of damage at least. And now we are up over 100,000 in damage. So yeah, early on we rack up big damage, and a lot of it is the torpedoes and the fires. We're going to try to go for the Henry right here, and we are going to blanket that area with the other rack of torpedoes. And that turn, to do the 180 like that, it really went pretty quickly, and that is because of the double rudder shift that we had going on there. So yeah, so we are going to get a few more torpedo hits. We are going to take an opportunity here on the Yamato, and we are hidden by those islands. And this is just great. That this is the arcing shells is just that's one of the things that I really like about the ship. What I don't like about the ship is if you go out in the open water and everybody targets you, you're going to be obliterated really quick. We don't have much hit points left, so we hit the last heal booster, and yeah, we probably could use Will to Rebuild right here, but that obviously is only available on battleships. And I'm still looking at those torpedoes over there on the left. Looks like we're not going to get any more hits. That is too bad. So yeah, I thought we were going to get a couple more hits on those guys, and we are ahead a little bit in the match. But here I'm so far out that I think I'm going to be okay. But the Yamato has big time damage numbers, and this Henry looks like he's going to start following us, and I am hoping that I can angle around this island over here to my left, that island right there, and get away from these guys. So I use a smoke screen to block their view. Fire's going, and it's racking up on the Henry, And we're going to go and take a shot at the Yamato as we're going behind this island with only 7,000 damage left. It will not take much for the Yamato to wipe us out right here. So here I'm essentially taking a blind shot into the open gap. And you can see that the steering gears are allowing me to turn away from the island at the last minute. So many times these ships respond so poorly that for sure I would have beached myself on that island. But I didn't. So there, the double steering gears really did come in handy. And let's see if we're going to surprise the Henry over there. Yeah, it looks like not at this point. And we are just waiting to see if we can get a target of opportunity. Hopefully the Khabarovsk will pop up again. The Henry would actually wipe us out pretty good. So here I'm spotted by somebody. And yeah, who is 11 kilometers away? Not really sure. But now we are starting to become, we're starting to get ahead in the match is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, I don't really see who has me spotted, even though there is another destroyer here. So it's probably the destroyer. I think if it was the Henry, I would see the Henry. But this, the fact I'm being spotted and I can't see who spotted me means that it's a destroyer that I don't really know where it is. I do have a couple more torpedo reload boosters that I could use to blanket an area that I think any ship other than a destroyer would be coming to try to chase me down. So I'm trying to angle over toward my teammates, and there's a Grozika first. You can see that, yeah, he takes a shot at me and removes half of my health very easily. And so now I hit one of the torpedo reload boosters, and I'm just blanketing that area, hoping to get the Grozika first with another torpedo hit. And there's a Khabarovsk. That was a guy that was within 11 kilometers that was had me spotted. And he's doing an excellent job of whittling away my health while keeping me spotted. So here, match is over with, thank goodness, because I don't think I would have been around much longer. And that is basically my first look at the Jinan 7500 XP there. That's because we had big time battle boosters going. We had big time scores across the board, 142 main gun hits, 304,000 credits, 136,000 damage, which is pretty good on 4 torpedo hits. So each torpedo was over 20,000 damage, and you can see that, yeah, we did rack up quite a bit of damage between the torpedoes and the main guns. 6 fires we started, so the ship will definitely start fires. 4 floodings on 4 torpedo hits. So with the deep water torpedoes, your likelihood of starting floods is much more likely than quote-unquote normal torpedoes. And that is basically my look at the Jinan. And stay behind the islands, and you can target everybody, it seems like, on the other team at much greater angles than you can with conventional cruisers. And flooding an area with a torpedo carpet is kind of cool. So let me know what you think down below. This is the Jaguar, and I'll see you on the high seas. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you like it.